Hi everybody, it's Tamara from Prairie Town Girl here on Etcetera's, and I have a new junk journal to share with you, and this one is very special for a number of reasons. First of all, I want to say thank you to Izabel at Dot's Inspiration Shop because she invited me to be on their design team and sent me some really beautiful printables, and so that's what I've used to make this. And this is a soft cover journal, which I don't usually do. Normally I take a old hardcover book and I gut it and I remake it, but I've been wanting to try to do a soft cover for a while and had some ideas I wanted to try, and this seemed like the perfect time to do that. So the cover is made with two different types of muslin. I've got this really super thin weave, and then one that's a little bit thicker that you can't see through quite as much. So the image on the front I printed on that thinner muslin, and I just used freezer paper. And really the freezer paper just acts as a stabilizer for the fabric. So you iron on the freezer paper onto the fabric, and then that helps it go through your printer easily. Freezer paper, I don't think we have it in Canada actually, but I had a friend travel down to the States last year and she bought me a great big huge roll of it. So it worked out really well. Yeah, and then the rest of the cover is made with that thicker, heavier muslin. And I did lots of fringing on it, and I showed you a few videos ago how easy it is to fringe fabric, and especially with a muslin it's super easy because it's such a loose weave. So there's your first look at the printables. A little bit different on the spine. Normally I do a lace, but I decided to go with something a little more fancy. And I don't normally do dangly doodad things because they tend to drive me a little bonkers. But I had all these great buttons, and they seem to be the perfect fit for this theme, this shabby chic French journal theme. And I didn't want to put them inside the journal because I just felt like it would add too much bulk and it would be hard to write on top of those. So they are on a safety pin that can be easily removed. Before I start, I also just wanted to show you, so this is sort of the intensity of the prints that come in this set, and these are the French journaling papers. So I printed out a set in the original, and then I also I put them in a Word document and I printed them out in a very washed out level. And so to do that, I put them in Word, I go to the format section, then you do color, recolor, and then the fourth option is like a really nice wash out, almost like a watermark, and that's what I've used for the backgrounds on all of my pages. You can also play with it in corrections as well, in the corrections feature in Word, but just wanted you to see like this is the difference though, and this is what you get, and then if you play with it you can do all kinds of fun things with it. I also got the French ladies journaling cards. So there's a little peek at some of those as well. So let's dive in and take a peek inside. Let's see here. So I let lots of stringy bits and left it shabby because it's a shabby chic journal. I've got a pocket in the front and the back, and I used this nice trim and I sewed it all down. We've got some ephemera in here, and over on Instagram I showed you these little journaling pockets. They've got a a little window. I just basically cut out the picture of the woman and made these little journaling cards. Yeah, so you can journal on the backs of those. And then I just made some regular journal cards as well from the printouts. And then this isn't part of the kit, but I had these in my stash, and it's just a little envelope with another little card inside. So I thought the roses went nicely with everything. I've got a little tag here as well. That was something else. I just went through my stash in my closet and found everything that looked shabby, chic, French, roses, anything, or pink. And tried to throw as much as I could in here. So here's our first signature. And you can see here where, again, I've got the original and then I've got the washed out pages. And I've mixed it with some of my own papers. I thought these were my tea stain papers, but I don't think that. I think these might be my, I tried dyeing with pickle juice one day. And I didn't think it was very successful. But I think that's what these are. They're kind of they feel kind of thick for some reason. It's like it's soaked up all that juice and it's in the paper. And I remember the day that I was doing it, the paper really, really smelled like pickles, but it doesn't smell anymore. So, and you've got a little bit of doily impressions on there. This is a bag that I've recovered, and I've got just a little envelope, and inside are my handmade paper clips, which I also showed on Instagram. They're pretty simple and easy to make, but they come in quite handy. Oh, and there is a little pocket on this side as well. I had a little bit of a extra piece of brown paper bag left, so I just stuck it behind as a decoration, but there is room to put something back there. And I did a little bit of stamping. I've got a layered stamp that you use all different colors with it, and you just build it up. And I hardly ever use it, so I thought it's time to pull it out, and it makes a really pretty rose, actually. Let's bring that one up. That's from Dollarama. So it was a lot of work to put this together, but really you don't have to, with such gorgeous pages, you don't have to add loads and loads and loads of stuff, because the pages are so pretty and they sort of speak for themselves. Each section I did what I call a writing board, so that just goes underneath so that you can actually write on the page and have something solid to write on. So I covered that with with Dots Inspiration printables as well, and then on the back I've just sort of quilted together some book pages, and these were on big index card, what do you call them, like separators. But I didn't want to add a lot of bulk, because if you're writing on it, you don't want it to be all bumpy and bulky. So I just used a marker and inked on the stitch lines, so they're faux. I had to do a little test on my printer with the fabric, and this was not the image I wanted to put on the front of my journal, so I just put it in here as a pocket. And I've got my little matchbook project that we did the other day with all the little botanicals inside, so that's in there. And I've got another one of those little journaling cards in here too. And let's see what else. I fussy cut some of the roses out of some of the images as well, and added those as something little extra on some of the pages. Believe it or not, I didn't put a load of butterflies in here. Some of the printables, there's 2 of the printables that have butterflies on them, so I just sort of left it at that. Yeah, that's the first. This is into the second signature. I've got some lace, sewn down, dictionary page on a hinge. I added this one because it says chic up here, which the definition is Parisian cleverness in dress, hence smartness and style. Yeah, so hopefully that's what that's what my journal is. Another little journaling card on a great big old paper clip. And a doily. Can't have something shabby chic without a doily. Some handmade paper. I don't know what I was saving this for, but it's been in my stash for a very, very long time. So this was the perfect journal to use. Oh, look at that. The sun's coming out. Another pretty little journaling card. And I tried to use more of the muslin throughout, and so we've got a little corner tuck sewn on there. Same thing here. Pretty much the exact same thing. And now we're on the other side. This is the second writing board. So on this side you can write, and this side, this is another one of the printables, and we've got a writing pad underneath. And when that's all done with, all that paper can come out, and then we've just got a book page underneath as well. And of course all the book pages are in French, of course. So let's see here, we'll just keep going. Got a poem in here, and I just love this line up here on the 4th stanza. This is from a poem called Sunday Morning by Wallace Stevens. And I put the page in the wrong way, but anyway. She says, "I am content when wakened birds, before they fly, test the reality of misty fields by their sweet questionings." I just like those 3 lines. I think it paints a very pretty picture. This is some, not fringe, this is some embellishments from my sewing stash, and I know this has been in my sewing box for, gosh, at least 20 years probably. A very, very long time. And it was so pretty, but I never had anything to use it with. And then we go in, there's another butterfly, go into the 3rd signature, and I just did a great big huge flip out, and I put that together with some washi tape. We got another brown paper, not another brown, we've got a brown paper bag here that's been embellished, and another one of those cards with a journal, or envelopes with a journaling card inside. And just some extra little sewing things, some rickrack, I don't know if you can see that. And then this is some very, very pretty ruffled, it's not really a lace, it's just a trim, a ruffled trim. It's so pretty. And again, that's just from my sewing stash, something I probably picked up at a thrift store somewhere. This is the other side of the brown paper bag, and inside this one I've got one of those little notebooks that we made just not too long ago, I think. I think their video is up already. And on this writing board, I took a bunch of the French lady journaling cards and I just collaged them all together. And then more fussy cut roses on top of book pages on the other side. And that's the end. And then we've got another little mini journal. So I just took some more of the French lady journaling cards and I kept them together and I sewed them and just used some scraps and put together a little mini journal that just tucks right inside. And this is another, I've got another one of those little envelopes with a journaling card in there. And this is kind of neat. It's like a little, it's a metal tab. And it's just glued right on there. And ideally I'd probably have like one on each section and have the 3, but I felt like the writing boards give the tabs for each section actually, so I didn't need to do an extra one, but I still wanted to use that because it's the perfect color. And then to put it all together, I was just going to quickly mention, instead of doing 3 holes across, because I didn't want to, I felt like with the fabric it would probably just tear the fabric and make a giant hole. So I was able to just do 3 holes, and I hand bound them, or hand sewed them, and I was able to get all my signatures through just the 3 holes. Yeah, so there you go. So that's my first, I think that's my first soft cover. And I really like it. I think it's so pretty. I don't have anybody in mind for this one, so it will probably stay on my bookshelf. I will probably end up keeping this one. But I hope that gives you some neat ideas and different things to try, because I know I tried to go outside my comfort zone and try some new things and do some different things I haven't done before. So hopefully that sparks some creativity for you. Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, please stay safe and stay healthy and stay crafting. And thank you again to Dot's Inspiration Shop. And I will put all the links to their YouTube channel, Facebook page, and more importantly, their Etsy shop. And she has, Izabel has all kinds of beautiful printables. She's got vintage flowers and steampunk and collages, all kinds of different things to check out. So look for the links down below, and thanks everybody for stopping by, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. And don't be afraid to hit that like and subscribe button. Have a great day. Bye bye.